Our webinar today is entitled, What You Need to Know Before You Implement SAP PLM 7.0X. Based on real-life implementations, this session offers expert tips and lessons learned to help you plan for SAP PLM deployments. Learn how to prepare your existing SAP landscape, the requisite service packs, infrastructure requirements and dependencies, review the pros and cons of the different point of entry options for accessing SAP PLM, including using SAP NetWeaver Business Client, the NetWeaver Portal, and Easy Document Management. Access the latest available functionality and features, including SAP PLM 7.0X Visual Enterprise Viewer and other advanced graphical representation tools. Grasp the skill sets you'll need to implement SAP PLM 7.0X, including knowledge of Web Dynpro for ABAP, which is required to use the SAP NetWeaver Business Client, and engineering record functionality for collaboration and for setting up SAP PLM workflow. We will also show how to leverage the new process routing capabilities. Set proper expectations for the return on your investment as it impacts resources, time to market, and other measurable benefits. My name is Alan Mendel, Vice President at LeverX, and I will be the moderator for today's webinar. But before we begin our topic, let me briefly introduce you to LeverX. LeverX helps companies increase business value by leveraging existing investments in SAP solutions. LeverX is an SAP value-added reseller and SAP services partner, as well as an associate member of the PLM Alliance. LeverX delivers strategic, functional, and technical services in the areas of SAP Product Lifecycle Management, Portfolio and Project Management, and related solutions. LeverX offers solutions including and services for business and process and strategic consulting, solution architecture development, implementation planning and execution, application management support through on-site and remote delivery models. In addition, LeverX provides services for SAP mobile application strategy, as well as a broad set of SAP technologies, including SAP NetWeaver, Workflow, Business Warehouse, and Business Objects. We are pleased to introduce our presenter for today's webinar, David Kramp, Senior Solutions Engineer at LeverX. Our webinar agenda will proceed as outlined in your invitation, an overview of upgrading to SAP PLM 7.0X, and then will be followed by some questions. Excuse me. If you have questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to post those questions in the GoToWebinar question panel. At the end of the presentation, we'll try to address as many questions as possible. We'll now turn the presentation over to Dave. All right, Dave, please go ahead when you're ready.
Good morning, everybody. Once again, my name is Dave Kramp. As Alan said, I'm a solution engineer for LeverX and been working in the PLM SAP space since 1998. And today, as Alan outlined, we're going to go over, what do you need to understand about PLM 7.0? What does it bring to the table for you? And then how to prepare internally your landscape, some skill sets you need, some tips and tricks on working with this, and some various options you're going to see within the user interfaces. Initially, we'll look at some differences between how PLM 7.0 Plus is slightly different in common objects with the SAP ERP functionality, and look at some various integration points, etc. We'll also take a quick view of the visualization aspects that PLM 7.0 Plus will bring for you. So some key features for the software for PLM 7. Okay, second here, that popped open. All right. Some basic components you're going to need, obviously, is the SAP ECC stack or SAP ERP 6.0 with enhancement pack 5 or 6. My suggestion is that you go with 6 if at all available to you and in your planning timeline, because this, once again, is the most recent generally available release, and it's also the most robust from both a process industries recipe development type of aspect to a discrete manufacturing aspect for SAP PLM. So, I definitely highly suggest enhancement pack 6. Second bullet there, T-Rex server. Once again, this will help you with your advanced search that we showed you on that initial screen. SAP has really gone through a lot of effort of speeding up and working with the T-Rex server to help you get to that information much quicker with this tool. You no longer will have to, search for just a material or search for just a document or search for just a BOM. You can search for a text string, and the system will find you all those hits with this search. So the T-Rex server is, an important capability and piece of software you're going to need to have. And then, some software components. You can see the list there of the PLM core software components that you need to install. I won't read them to you, as we'll deliver this deck to you. Optionally, if you're going to be using SAP Document Management, you're going to need the document server capability for storing original files. And what this basically does is it allows you to take and build a content server so you can put your original file content. So if you can imagine, some CAD models being very large, or some very large PowerPoints, let's say, or complex spreadsheets, if you want to put those in the system, you don't want to store them on your SAP index server. SAP has delivered this content server so you can put those original file types over there. Lastly, if you're going to work with conversion servers of any type, especially the SAP Visual Enterprise, you're going to need those types of generators of your neutral files set up and ready to work with this system. Next thing you need to do is you're going to have to activate some key business functions. So via the SAP IMG, the implementation guide, you need to activate the following business functions. So in the enterprise extension, you can see the EA PLM, and then based on your requirements, any of the below functions you need to turn on. The BCV main, what that is doing is turning on that business content viewer. It's embedded side panel analytics. The PLM user interface, that's why it has items there, and there's a star because there's many different ones you can do. Enterprise search is the third one, and SAP recipe management to turn on the SAP recipe development functionality. So those are some of the key business functions you'll need to turn on. And then with the business functions, SAP provides you enhancements in self-contained units. So SAP has bundled a number of different functions within a business function. And so, these will give you, they have switches in there that control the activation of these enhancements within the installed software. And then activating these functions with with transaction SFW5, will lead to the following changes. You're going to see menu entry changes, new fields on different applications. New IMG activities will be turned on, and new customizing tables and system tables will be added. Key bullet second from the bottom. You cannot undo the activation of a business function, so be aware of that. And process runs in the background, so you're going to make sure you provide yourself ample time to turn these on and let the system perform its implementation of those business functions. And here's, some example functions you need to turn on via SICF, via activation of services, and what they're basically going to do for you. So the first one is going to turn on enterprise search. So that's that advanced search that we were talking earlier with the T-Rex server. NetWeaver Business Client, so your ability to turn on and use the NetWeaver Business Client user interface. Third one down, to turn on your business content viewer, that embedded analytics. Additional SAP PLM user interface capabilities. The PLM PZV is the initial release of the embedded analytics, the functionality that's still there, and some other additional ones that are listed below. So those are some services you need to activate. And additionally, you're going to have to turn on and add to your users some certain roles to get the appropriate user interface to turn on in their NetWeaver Business Client or their portal. So these can be found by looking under the role PLM WUI star within your SU01, and you can search for those. And as we highlight here, the most important one of these roles is your PLM discrete menu. So that will turn on your discrete, and there's also one for process. So you have, if you, depending on what side of the PLM world you're working on, you'll need to either turn on the discrete one or the process one.